If you follow us on various other social things and podcasts and on my other channels and whatnot, you'll know that I've become mildly obsessed with Farming Simulator. I kind of got into Farming Simulator via my son, who was playing it quite a lot, and he was like, "Oh, Dad, come and have a look at this game." And I was like, "Oh, what is it, like Call of Duty or something horrifically violent?" He was like, "Oh no, it's Farming Simulator." And I kind of held my head in my hands at that point and thought, "Oh, what have you done?" And then I started having a look at it, and it was like, "Oh, this is actually really impressive. This is quite good." And so I started playing it, networked with him a little bit, and then I started getting addicted to it. And this is why I generally avoid playing computer games, because I always end up getting completely addicted to them. And it's just not something I generally have time for. But at the same time, I do find certain games very relaxing, and I got into Minecraft in quite a big way and started playing that just as a way of switching off. You know, if I couldn't sleep at night, I would just start playing Minecraft randomly. And now Farming Simulator has taken over from that, really. So that is what my life has become. And my son's gone off now playing Warface and completely disowned us, and now I'm left tending to my own farms. That's a joke. We do still play now and then together, and it's all good. So I thought I might as well, in this episode, show you around my farms and just give you a quick tour of what I've got, and then in future episodes I'll probably not be talking about it that much, but I figured I might as well just show you everything in this one, and then you know where the starting point is. I'll show you the fields first of all. So I'm on the Ravenport map, and I'm trying to do it as mod free as possible. One of the only main mods I've got is the auto loading bale trailer, because otherwise loading up bales takes like forever. So I've got an auto loading trailer, but other than that I'm not really using any mods at all. Farming Simulator, if you're not aware, really comes into its own if you start using mods, and there's some amazing things that you can do in the game and machinery that you can get and all that sort of thing. But for this version that I'm doing, it's going to be largely mod free. Oh, and by the way, when I first started playing on this map, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I accidentally spent all of my money on terraforming massive areas of land, not realising that that was costing me money. And basically I flattened out like loads of areas over here where I've got my shed and whatnot, and I've flattened out massive areas, taking out mountains and things, and then suddenly I realised that my money had gone down to zero, and I'd spent everything on landscaping, which is just marvellous. So I've now got a £500,000 loan. And where's my finances? Yeah, so I've currently got a £500,000 loan, which is the most you can get, and my bank balance is 43,000. So at the minute I'm paying quite a lot in interest every day to kind of service that loan. Such is life. I'm not starting again. I spent ages landscaping, and I'll just have to pay off my debts. But I feel like I've got things in quite a good place now, and hopefully I'm well positioned to pay off those debts. So I'll show you what I've got land-wise. First of all, I have got field 21, well, field 18 is my main field, and this is where I've got my shed and everything, and a little chicken coop and whatnot. Field 18 and 21 are just grass fields for silage. Silage pays pretty well. It's a bit of a chew-on because you've got to mow the grass and then windrower it and then collect it and then bale it into silage bales, but it pays well, and the place I sell it to just at the barn is really nearby, so it's worth doing, and I'm just doing that in these two fields. It's a good kind of money earner. And then I've also got fields 14 and 15 as well, which I'll show you in a little bit, but basically I've joined those two fields together and made them a little bit bigger. It's a bit more obvious if go onto this view. So 14 and 15 are now joined into two fields, and at the moment that's planted up with soybeans. Everything is fertilised, and we've got a tiny little patch of field 18 that needs lime, but I don't think that really matters for grass, so I'm just leaving that as it is. By the way, I would just like to point out that these videos aren't made for children to watch. They're more aimed at like middle-aged grown adults who want to find a computer game that is relaxing and doesn't necessarily involve shooting people's faces off, which, you know, I like playing Call of Duty and stuff like that every now and then, but I don't find it particularly relaxing, whereas this I find amazingly relaxing to play. So I thought I would just kind of set the record straight on that. At the end of the day, if you're comfortable with your children watching a mid-40s-year-old bloke playing computer games, then that's entirely up to you. But in no way is this content aimed at children. Quite the opposite, really. I lead a very busy life and I need a way of switching off, and playing this every now and then helps me to switch off. Anyway, so this is my main kind of farm area over here. If I go in a tractor, I can give you a bit more of a tour around. We'll head around in this New Holland T6.125 tractor. I probably should have picked a better tractor because this one's got the front loader on. You can't really see. I'll put it high up. I'll show you from top down, it'll be a bit easier to see. So, if you're familiar with the Ravenport map and this field, this whole area around here was full of trees and hills and wasn't really suitable for farming of any description. So, as I say, this is what I ended up spending nearly all my money on, was flattening this area out. I made quite a bit off all the wood from chopping the trees down, and I've now got quite a nice flat area where I can put extra sheds and store equipment and whatnot. Over towards the top left of the screen there is my little chicken coop. So these are my chickens, all brown hens, and I've got 2 roosters as well. So I think at the minute I've got about 70 chickens or something like that. And there's a bunch of eggs there ready to be sold. Basically all you need to do with hens and chickens is to periodically clean them out and feed them with wheat, and that keeps them happy. So there's not a lot to do with them. As I say, grass field over here, which I've got some silage bales there ready to sell. I'm just waiting for the price to go up so I can sell them. And another grass field over there. And then we'll head up to the big soybean field and I'll show you that. Whoa! Oh no! It's because I've got the thing. Oh, let's see if I can turn it around. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Yay! Oh, don't! It's because I've got the scoop so high up. Pencil note: don't bomb round corners too fast when you've got the scoop that high. I've got a plough up here I need to pick up anyway, so I can do that while I'm here. So, this is my soybean field here. Quite a big field this, now that the two are joined together, and I've made it a bit wider as well. It goes all the way out. Again, I'll show you a top-down view. I need to pick this plough up that I left here when I was sorting these fields out. But you can kind of see it goes all the way up to the top there, just where the field stops turning green. It just hasn't redrawn for some reason. Let me just drive up there. Oh, and in terms of settings on the game, I don't have crop destruction switched on, and what else don't I have? I don't have weeds switched on either, just to make life a little bit easier. I try not to drive over the fields, but it's not causing any damage. You can change that in the settings if you wanted. So, yeah, so this is my soybean field here. It is growing at the moment. It is 100% fertilised, and it's probably got a couple more growth stages left to go. But decently big field this, so I should get a fair bit of crop income once this is ready. I could make the field a little bit wider. You see where I'm driving down at the minute. I could plough into that and make the field a bit bigger. But it is on quite a slope heading towards the train track. I did have this as a grass field before. Pencil note, don't bale silage on a sloping field because your round bales just roll off everywhere, so hence this is now a crop field rather than a grass field. So it goes all the way down here to where the train crossing is. Right, we'll take this plough back to the farm. I'm going to take it the roadway because it's a bit wide for taking down that little cut that I go down. We are in America on this map, by the way, so driving on the right. Good practice for driving abroad. As you can see, my sheds are getting a bit full. I could do with another shed. So in terms of equipment, as I say, I've got the two tractors at the minute, the T6 and the T7, New Holland. I've also got the little New Holland, I think it's a C232, it's just basically a stump remover for trees, that's all I use that for. You can put different attachments on the front, but quite a handy little vehicle to have there. I've got this trailer here, which is very handy for removing trees and big logs and things that you can't pick up. Over here I've got my main Cedar Cultivator, which works for a whole range of stuff. Soybeans, canola, wheat, barley, all the normal kind of crops you can use with that planter. I've got a great big fertilizer and lime spreader with the extension bits on the top as well, so that works really well for fertilizing contracts and fertilizing my own fields as well. I've just got the one little trailer at the minute. I'll probably need another one once I start harvesting the two fields that are joined together because that trailer's not going to cut it. I've got this windrower here, which just makes life a lot easier for baling stuff, and I've got a little grass cutter as well. In terms of stuff that I want to buy, I would really like a front attachment grass cutter for the tractor, because then I can do the side and front at the same time. That basically doubles my mowing capacity. Oh, it's so sad. Look, start playing this game. I bet you get as addicted to it as I do. This windrower is awesome. It wasn't that expensive, and it makes life way easier for baling later on. At the moment I just hire a baler. I generally just hire, I'll show you the one that I normally get. I normally just hire this one here. This one does the baling and wrapping in plastic all in one go, so if you're making silage bales, then that is really the one you need. And as I say, at the minute I just hire it, but I will be buying it when I can afford to buy it, because I do use it very often. Everything else I just hire because I can't afford it, because I've got no money. I've got a couple of attachments for the front loader. I've got the bale pallet fork attachment there. I have got a weight for the tractor there as well, which I don't use very often, to be honest. And what have I got here? I've got some leftover lime, and I've got some liquid fertilizer, which I obviously don't generally use because my fertilizer trailer thing is for solid fertilizer, not for liquid, but I had that left over after a contract that I did. And that is pretty much it. I've got a few plans. I would like to get another field up this end, but the fields over here are pretty expensive, so I think you're looking about 250,000 plus or something to get another field round here. This field has the restaurant on, I think, if I have a quick look at the map. Yeah, so this field 20 here also has the restaurant as part of it. I don't know if you get any rental income from the restaurant or not, but I guess we'll find out. And that, as I say, it's 227,000, that field, which I cannot afford. And field 22 is 280,000, so, but lots of land around it where I could potentially make that field bigger as well. So good scope, but I can't afford it at the minute. In terms of plans for the fields that I do have, what I'll probably do is try and extend out the front here a bit, do a bit more landscaping out the front, because I've got quite a bit of land that I can bring out over the front here. What I might do as well is join it together at the front and move this road further down so that I've got one big area here for grass silage and whatnot. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't mind. I quite like having the entrance in the middle here. It's nice and convenient. Pop in the comments what you think of my little setup on Ravenport. Do you play Farming Simulator? How have you come across this video? Please do like and share and comment on a grown man playing computer games. I've got to switch off from day-to-day life. It helps me switch off. What can I say? Oh, I forgot to mention, I've got a chainsaw as well. When you come to cutting trees down and whatnot, chainsaw's what you need. I'm gonna leave that tree. I quite like that one. I'm not going to be talking as much in future videos, probably. So, there you go. Any questions, pop it in the comments. My main challenge at the minute is just to get out of the horrendous £500,000 debt that I'm in. Let's see if I can actually do that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.